Hey guys, this is the Anythingers podcast with your host, Glass Bass and Casey Q, where we discuss, anything.
What the fuck? Oh, hey guys, we're back with the stuff. I'm your girl Casey Q.
And make sure your whole glass back and we're ready for another podcast. And what is today's topic?
We are doing fairy tales. Now, like, I can't talk. Just keep doing it. The fairy tales that we picked are rather short, so this is going to be a little bit of a shorter podcast, unfortunately. We know that you want like a longer one, but like yeah, maybe next week. Yeah.
Yeah, in this case, the fairy tale.
What do we know about fairy tales, like, versus like Disney? Because we all know that Disney has very happy, cheerful kind of fairy tales, and all of them get like a happy end, or they get their prince or their princess or whatever the fuck.
Basically, yeah. If you watch a Disney movie, you never get a bad ending.
Yeah, like, so like, but like you have to also understand that Disney isn't
Disney does not want to disappoint the kids.
Yeah, they're making it for a children's audience. So like, if they had like the real version of Snow White or the real version of Cinderella, then then it would be just kind of like traumatizing the kids. They'd be
in
like,
other words,
okay, what
the
fuck just
original, the original fairy tale came from the most famous collector. Okay, so we have to reiterate on this part. Some fairy tales, they have authors, others do not. That lost the time. Instead, what they have is who collected them.
Most fairy tales were put into like books, and then those books were published, but like it's actually harder to track down the actual person who wrote the actual story, but like the collectors, their job was to just like put them all together and then just like have like a giant like kind of like a index of all these fairy tales.
Basically, the Brother Grimm is the most well-known collector. They did not but they collected the various folk tales around their area and published them, so to speak.
And you can kind of think of Disney as a collector in a way, because most of the fairy tales that they focus on aren't their own. But what they do is like they take them and of course they like alter it a bit, so it kind of is more online with what children are thinking.
Yeah, in other words, it's a little bit more
imaginative,
puppies and kittens.
Most of it, like, because Disney's so imaginative and big and colorful, so they have to make their stories colorful too, to match the kid audience.
It's always singing and dancing ladies and beaches. Nothing bad ever happened. The villain is defeated.
I mean, that just sounds like Beauty and the Beast. That's not all Disney movies. But like, yeah, one of my favorite fairy tales growing up was Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Yeah,
I still have like my fairy tale book that my dad used to read me before I go to bed, and my favorite story in there was Beauty and the Beast. And I don't think there was an actual like, I don't remember hearing like who wrote it. I was just like, I know that the story that my dad read me was very dark. It wasn't like, I mean, eventually it kind of had a happy ending, I guess, but like it was very dark for
very dark.
like most of those books, stories in that book were like, oh whoa, what the fuck, it's so sad. But like, yeah, it's one of my it was one of my favorite things. I still have it to this day. It looks like shit, but yeah, it was great.
My recent experience of watching anything Disney-wise was basically every time my niece comes over, she's always watching Beauty and the Beast. Maybe it's like the 40th time I've seen it, I swear. It's always Beauty and the Beast.
So good. It's so good. It's probably one of not. It's probably one of the best Disney movies next to Mulan and all of those. But like this is Disney. This is Disney back in like their golden era. I presume.
Yeah,
Um.
this is Disney before they were pimping out Marvel movies like nothing. This is Disney before they were like Avengers up the ass, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But like not saying that, Avengers isn't just
Hmm.
I'm not really into superhero shit. Don't sue me. But I
Super,
would prefer
I don't mind the superhero stuff, but needless to say, they kind of overglut the market. Isn't
yeah,
all?
they do, but like they're doing it for a reason. I mean like back before like the movies were even made, like they had comic books, but like even then like not many people knew what, a comic book
Wars, you mean?
was. Like it was thanks to these movies now that people who didn't know, that don't even read the comic books, know who these characters are, so they get to live. So these characters are living through the movie immortally thanks to Stan Lee and all those people who wrote those comics. Their characters can live on, and that's why these movies are done.
Rest in peace, Stanley. You
Yes,
were,
Stan Lee, please rest in peace, bro. Like you are a fucking legend. You are all your
hmm.
stories, your comics, all of that shit. Like, man, I want to cry now because like I grew up with all of his movies, and he was just such an influence to so many people. And like, I like my first like movie was Spider-Man back in like 2001. Or no. My first movie that I saw, but no, but that's DC. Wait, DC? Batman's DC, right?
Yeah, but point was you always saw a
But the point
Stanley
was like my
cameo.
first
You know, there's always a Stanley
book
cameo
movie,
in the movie.
Spider-Man. Yeah, and then I always used to wonder who this like man is in these movies that always appears. And I studied him more, and I was like, oh, that's fucking Stan Lee. And then like I got the chance to study his, all of his like comic books when I took a class in college. But like, yeah, he was just such an influencing person, and just it's so sad to see that he's gone.
To be fair, he's 95. You know, that's pretty rare to live to 95.
For his age, he was so like energetic. He was so like fucking. He didn't act 95. There was no part of him that was like, oh, I'm 95 and I can't walk. He was so spry for his age. And you don't really see. I never saw like a 95-year-old like be that energetic. He looked good for his age. I mean, he looked old as hell.
Are you
But
saying
like
he looks more 75, is what you're saying?
his whole like aura, like the way he acted towards his work and everything, he didn't act 95
He
or
acting
anything.
more
He was
60,
walking,
70, if
he
you're
just
saying.
yeah, he was so energetic for his age. Like he acted more like 70 or 60 or maybe even 40. I mean, like he was just so like everybody just thought he was just gonna keep living on. I did. Because like he was just like he was in every fucking movie. He didn't skip a fucking beat, you know. But like, yeah. But anyway, before we get
Is it the Stanley, is it the memory
this
of
is not
Stanley podcast? Is it what this is now?
this is about fairy tales. We got off track and we spoke about 10 minutes on this. So
To be
let's get into
fair,
the
Stanley invented the modern fairy tale.
he
Honestly,
did.
if
But
you,
like okay, before we get lost in translation, let's get started with our fairy tales. Um, if you guys want to do like we can do a superhero episode, um, but for now let's just
all right, who's gonna
and
start
let's get.
first? Somebody gonna start
I
first.
want to start. I want to start. You started last time. I'm gonna
Okay, you go, KCQ.
do my
Let's go.
least my least favorite. I mean, like not my least favorite. I thought it was really good. Um, but like I'm gonna start with Bluebeard. So if you don't know what Bluebeard was a pirate or like a martyr, whatever the fuck. But like it was written
Written when?
and
Written
so
when?
like you basically get this guy um and I guess he was like, you know, he was a what do you call that? A merchandiser.
A
He was a
booking you?
he was a buccaneer, whatever the fuck. He was just like really rich, right?
Yeah.
And everybody in the town was really scared of him because he had this blue beard and it was like scary looking. And all the people, especially the
I wasn't typing. But let's go with Bluebeard. How come why is it blue? Tell me why the beard is blue.
I don't it's not mentioned why his beard is blue, but like because his beard was blue, people were scared of him, especially women. And every time like he went to go like hit on a woman or something, they would just be like, "Oh hell no. No, no, no." So, he went to I think he went to this party and like all the women there were just like, "Oh, no, no, no. I don't want to like get." And
Hmm.
so one of the women that he, you know, proposed to, he's like, I want to marry you. And she was like, no, I don't want to like marry you. At first she was like, oh, hell no. Like, I don't want to do that. And then like they went to this kind of like fancy, like, you know, camping trip. And there was like fishing, there was lunch, there was all kinds of shit. And this chick saw another side of Bluebeard that she didn't see like the first time they met. So she got a second.
You guys second what
He
now?
doesn't seem like a bad. So she was like, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. So whatever, I'll marry him. So she ended up marrying him. He takes her back to his fucking castle because he has like all this money. He's like freaking swimming in cash. This chick is like, oh shit, you know, I got a rich husband or whatever the fuck. So Bluebeard, he is going on a business trip basically, and he has to go overseas. So he
That
and
business
so he,
over cheese.
all right, well, I'm gonna leave you in my castle, and I'm gonna give you all the keys to these rooms that has money, that has jewels, that has diamonds. You're set, you know, if you need a whatever. Like you can go in any of the rooms in this castle. I don't give a fuck. But this key right here to this room, if do not use this key, do not go in that room, or else I'm going to punish you. So
Ooh.
he leaves, and the chick, you know,
Go on, what happened? She
goes to all the
punished it.
like the curiosity killed the cat, and so she uses the key, this a forbidden key that Bluebeard gives him. She puts it in, she opens it, and she comes to discover that Bluebeard killed all his wives because in the town everybody saw that he had wives, but they would all go missing. And
Oh.
yeah, so like there's just like a bunch of blood and there's a bunch of bodies and shit, and she's like, oh fuck that. She's and so then she basically locks the door behind her, but the key that Bluebeard uses in this room is like bewitched or something, or it's like cursed or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's blood on this key that she can't get rid of. So she's trying to fucking rub the blood off of the key and it's not coming off. And she's like, he's gonna catch me. Like he's gonna catch me in the act. And she's, you know, fucking just scared out of her mind. So Bluebeard comes
I mean, assume
business
Bluebeard
trip.
got him. I mean, Bluebeard got her.
What? I'm not done. Let me explain my fucking story. I'm not done, Glass Bass. Jesus. Okay. So, anyway, before somebody interrupted me, rude. So, he comes back from his business trip slash whatever the hell he was doing overseas. And he's like, all right, I'm back. And then she, he noticed that she's like really like nervous. Oh, you know, did you go in the room? And she's like, no, I didn't go in the room. And so he's like, all right, well, give me the keys. And so she's like, all right, I'll go get him. So she goes and gets them, and he sees like the blood is on the key, and so he said, "Did you go in the room?" And she said, "No, I didn't go in the room." And he said, "No, I know you went in the room." He's like, "Well, you went in my room. Now I have to punish you," which basically means he's gonna kill her. So he gives her time to go like pray or something, or stairs or something, and then she's like praying to the Lord like to save her or something, and she's just like, "Oh please, like I need to get out, I did mean it, oh no." And so Bluebeard is like, "You better hurry up because like I'm about to come upstairs and basically kill you." And so like she's sending signals to her siblings or something, and trying to make them see her like trapped and get help. And so Bluebeard is like rushing her, and he's like, "I'm gonna
Oh
get down
no.
here. I'm gonna." He's set on killing her because like she went in this forbidden room. And so then finally her brothers or whatever see her signals. I don't know what the signals are. I forgot what the signals were. But like the brothers see the signals, and they come, coming to the castle where they are, and like they're still really far away. And then Bluebeard ends up getting the girl, and he chops her head off. And then as
Wow. He
the brothers
fatality.
come, and they stab Bluebeard, and then Bluebeard, he's dead now. And so the sisters or whatever, they had like a dowry. And so then like because Bluebeard didn't have any heirs, that money and all of his shit goes to the next of kin, which would basically mean his wife's family. So his wife's family get the dowry and all that shit, and then they pass it on or whatever.
Good lord.
Yeah, and everybody discovered that Bluebeard killed all his wives. So
Jesus Christ. Who knew Bluebeard was basically a wife serial killer?
yeah, he was fucking crazy. But like he wasn't gonna kill her. I don't think he was gonna kill her unless if she didn't go in that room. I don't think he would have killed her. I don't know. He probably would have because he's just like a psychopath. But like, would he? I mean, it just looked like he wanted to settle
Bluebeard is an
down and get a
odd
woman to actually
character.
love him, because
Killer of wives, killer of them
all these
killing
women were
spree.
just scared and were just scared of him and not wanting to be his wifey. But yeah, that is a story of Bluebeard. Quite
Yeah,
sad, but
so my
yeah.
turn, my turn. That was the story of Bluebeard. And wait, in this case, is it a collector or an author for Bluebeard?
Oh, like I said, the story was written by Charles
Okay, makes sense. Well, in my
He's
case,
French.
yeah, in my case, I only have collector. There were no authors in my stories. So, for example, there's a guy named Andrew Lang. He's a collector. He wrote a book called the Yellow Fairy, the Yellow Fairy Book. It's a collection of like basically folk tales and fairy tales from like Greece or other countries, so to speak. And one of them happened to be about what they call the golden crab. Now, what is the golden crab? Then we'll see what the golden crab story is about. Now, the basic gist of the golden crab was it seems there was a mermaid. Now, keep in mind, this isn't a little mermaid at all. There is a mermaid, but it is not Little Mermaid in the first place. So let's go on with what the tale is.
Yeah, don't steal my story.
So as I was saying, a long time ago under the sea there was SpongeBob. Okay, there's no SpongeBob, but you get the point. There was mermaids swimming around under the sea. She had been granted like basically a crystal ball by the king, and the king said never to throw away this ball. The ball is only for the mermaid to play around in the sea. So the mermaid has all the fun in the world that she wants with the ball until she gets too close to the beach. Yeah, don't go in the beach. There's like humans up there. You don't want to go up there. So she goes. She gets a little bit too close to the beach. Then she accidentally threw the ball onto the beach, and then she realizes, oh shit, I can't go up there. I can't walk. I just flop. So she cried for days on end, and she can't get her ball back at all. Like the king ball we're talking about, not just any ball, but the king crystal ball. In,
Damn.
until a golden crab came out of the beach, and somehow this crab can speak. Don't ask me why. Maybe they have Aquaman's ability at this point. But yeah. So the crab asked the mermaid, "Why are you so sad?" And the mermaid is like, my ball is over there. I can never get it back. Look at me, oh woe is me.
What is me? I can't get my ball back.
and and basically, and the mermaid got pretty desperate to the point where she's like, "I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything. Can you please get the ball back from me? I'll do anything in the world for you." And so the crab was like, "All right, you'll do anything? Sure."
Oh no.
Then the crab merely waddled away to the crystal ball, picked it up, and then goes into the ocean. She, okay, the crab is he at this point, because golden crab prince or whatever this is. Anyway, the crab goes into the water, and now the crab is like, "I have gotten your ball back. Now you must fulfill your promise, you young mermaid." And the mermaid is like, "Yes, I got my ball back." And so in this case, the young mermaid took the crab back to the king's palace, and the king was like, "Who is this buddy you brought in?" I lost my ball, but this Mr. Crab got it back. And no, we're not talking SpongeBob crab.
Mr. Krabs.
We're talking like a little crab that can talk, not like a human. Yet it's a crab or whatever. The point was, so. But the crab the crab actually wanted to kiss the mermaid, but the mermaid wasn't having any of it because kissing a crab it's disgusting, and the king is like, You made a promise. You must not gonna go back on your promise, my daughter." And the mermaid was like, No, it's a crab. Why am I kissing a crab? I just want my ball back. No. And so, but anyway, the king forced basically both of them into a room. They having like bed and all that stuff. So the mermaid is on like the bed with the crab, and basically the mermaid got so frustrated about the whole situation that she basically threw the crab against the wall. Yeah,
Oh.
she threw the crab against the wall. Now the crab is in pain, shell crack, and the crab is like, But what did I do? I got your ball back. Why are you so ungrateful?" And the mermaid finally felt a pang of guilt in her soul. Yes, she
That's
felt
fucked up.
guilty for breaking the crab back, and she realized that, look, the crab was like, "Look, you must kiss me. Please kiss me. I'm in pain. My back is broke." And the mermaid realizes her own selfishness and her own guilt, finally kisses the crab. And what happened next was nothing but magical. Finally, the crab transformed into a human male mermaid. And now,
And then he drops that bitch.
yeah, and now the mermaid is like, "Wow, damn, Dung, you are thick."
Then
And
it keep going.
they have happily lived ever after in the
Oh
palace of
what?
the king.
No! That's not what. That's not what I thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what happened. The freaking crab transformed into a stug, basically a stug mermaid for the
You,
cute mermaid daughter. I mean, it writes
oh,
itself at this point.
what the hell? You know what I thought was gonna happen? I thought the thing that was gonna happen.
What do you think was gonna happen?
He, was so like angry at him, and that she heard him, that he was just gonna be like, and he was gonna transform into beautiful mermaid prince, and then he was gonna like, "No, bitch, you hurt me, fuck you," and then he would just like swam off, and then go get another like mermaid bitch, and then he would be like, "You hurt me, I'm gonna like hurt you now," and then he breaks her ball, or I don't know. I thought like karma was gonna happen, but like no, like she hurt him, and then like he was like, "Oh, I'm sexy," and then she was like,
Basically, it's just a lot
"They got
better
to
when the crab turned to a human mermaid. So,
lame."
yeah, it kind of
Like he
hypocritical if you ask me.
turned sexy, and then like now he's just like just completely just like forgot that she just picked him up and smashed him against the wall.
Yeah.
What
That
a
let's just sweep out under the wall. Let's just walk it under the bridge, and
I mean,
happily ever after.
I guess.
Yep,
I
that
mean, I
happened.
guess a grudge. I'd be like, you hurt me, and it hurt, and then like, then I tell you to kiss me, and I would have been like, peace, bitch. I'd be like, I don't want you because you're violent. Pick up crustaceans and you just smash them. You're violent.
Or
Like that.
actually, to be honest, being a human is better. Why do you want to be a crab? It was all a ploy to become human at this point.
I guess. I don't think I would like to be a crustacean because like
They have to, yeah. Imagine being
if
a
you go to
crab.
if you go to the beach and you look like on the shore and if you look on the sand, there's just gonna be a bunch of fucking like broken crab shells everywhere. And then like it's because like people like step on them or like they get broken or they like wash on the or they wash away on the shore. It's
The crabs will be crabs
also
unless
birds eat them.
you want crusty crabs. Want some burgers?
What is like a Krabby Patty? Is it fish?
Krabby Patty is a burger in
I
the
know,
water.
but like, is it fish? I
It's
mean, because
not
like,
fish. It's burger. I mean,
how is how is burgers in the sea though? These are logical questions. I'm
she
just wondering if
um
Mr. Krabs is like grinding up like fishes in the back, and he's like putting them in his crab. Because like he has a secret ingredient.
yeah, sea
Ingredient, not even
cows.
spice. And then
It,
like, what if it's fish?
actually no, it's not fish. These burgers come from sea cows. In other words, they're manatees. They're sea cows.
That's terrible, but that still kind of counts as fish.
Manatee's not a fish. It's a huge
I
marine
know it's
mammal.
not a fish, but like he's still like grinding up like sea life. Okay, whatever.
Sea cow, technically, it's basically a giant mammal. It's so cute. If you look at a picture of one, they're like adorable. That's why they're sea cows.
Freaking,
Because
they're beautiful. They are the Little Mermaid. That's my hint for my next story. Ha 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 ha. But
okay,
like,
what's your next story then?
my next story is the Little Mermaid because I love the Little Mermaid. um I did this one, and like, no, it's not the Little Mermaid from Disney. It doesn't end pretty. Unfortunately, it's very
Very what? What's to
and
get?
quite it's very sad and very like lonesome and lonely. It doesn't have that like, oh, she gets the man at the end. But so anyway, my story was written by Hans Christian Andersen, and he was Danish. Haha. So basically, The Little Mermaid starts basically as The Little Mermaid, except in the movies they don't really explain much about like what's going
Hmm. Is
of
that
like
what's the difference
she's
between this and Gigny?
I'm going to explain. So basically she's the youngest of like six sisters. And then like you have like the king of the sea, her dad or whatever. And so like her six sisters, like she can't go up to the surface of the water until she turns 15. So all of her sisters, like they're older, and as soon as they turn 15, like they go one by one up to the sea, up to the surface,
Hmm.
able to go up there anytime they want. What the hell?
So what's going on with the Little Mermaid? Is it any different?
Oh, I thought I heard somebody. But anyway, the Little Mermaid, like each of one of them goes up to the surface one by one when they turn 15, and at this age they can also like they can go up on the surface and explore anytime they want to, basically. So they go, and then like the sister, the other
Mm.
sister, what they saw up there, like, oh, I saw a ship, oh, I saw this shoe or something. So they go and tell their sisters, and then when they're all 15 except for the youngest sister, they would go like, together, and then they would just go like explore or whatever the fuck. And so they would always go tell the youngest sister what they saw. And so then finally the youngest sister turns 15, and she goes up to the shore.
Wow.
She sees this, and the boat is like having a party or whatever the fuck. And then like on the boat she sees like this beautiful man, and she's like, oh shit, he's sexy as hell. I want to bang him. And so then like she's like, oh man, I'm smitten, I'm in love, oh my god, oh man, I wish I could go up there, but like I don't have any legs. And so then a storm basically appears out of nowhere, and it basically tears their boat to shreds.
Shreds up to.
and then and then like if the Little Mermaid hadn't saved her man, he would have died too. So like she basically, swam him to shore, and then he's passed out, and then like she, puts him on the shore or whatever, and then like the people from the castle or whatever see him just laying there, and they're like, oh shit, and they go take him in. And then like she has to go hide because she can't be seen. And
Good
so then
Lord.
and she's also like, now she's in love, but like she can't go to him, because like she's a mermaid and she doesn't have legs. And so she questions. So in the story she has a grandmother, and the grandmother is like old as, like, she's like so in the story these mermaids, they live up till 300 years old, so they're super old, and the grandma is almost 300 years old. And so the
300
grandma,
years old. What the heck?
yeah, they only the
300.
grandma's almost 300. And so then like the grandma is like telling her like, oh, like mermaids can't have an immortal, like when we die we turn into sea foam, and then like the only way you could get a man to love you is if that they would have to be devoted to you, they would have to like love you and only you for you to gain that immortal soul. But it, like, even if that was the case, like that could never happen because you're a mermaid, you can't have an immortal.
Mermaid don't go to
Die.
heaven.
She's like, you don't.
Oh, let me get
Yeah,
this straight. Mermaids don't have a soul. Do they have a soul? Wait, what? What
no,
kind of?
they don't have an immortal soul. So only humans have an immortal soul. So like when we die, we go to heaven. That's our perception of where we go when we die. So like mermaids, they don't go to heaven. There's no heaven for mermaids. They turn into sea foam. That's their fate. So the grandma was trying to tell this to her granddaughter, the Little Mermaid, and she was like, "Oh, that's depressing."
So let me get this straight. Mermaids have longer lifespan, much longer than humans.
Yeah,
But
so like the mermaids live longer, and so the grandma was like, "Why do you want to be a human? Like that's totally retarded. You just stay a mermaid because we live a long time and this a party down here, So the grandma's trying to convince the Little Mermaid to like, you don't want to be a human. You're gonna live a long time when you're a mermaid, blah blah. But the Little Mermaid is not convinced. So she's trying to find a way to go see a man, and so then she.
so, in other words,
And like,
let me get this straight. The
hmm,
mermaids, they live a long time, longer than humans, but they have
yeah, they
no.
live way longer, but they don't have an immortal soul. Humans have they technically don't have a soul. I don't know.
Okay. So they don't have a soul. When they die, they just become sea foam and become part
They
of the
just become
sea.
sea foam. All right, but I'm getting there. All right, hold on to your pants. I like to be thorough when I start talking. Anyway, so we their man, and like she goes up to the shore and she like visits him, and she likes like looking at him and shit, but she can't be seen because she's a mermaid. And so she goes to the sea witch, and like the sea witch is a really scary like woman, and she does all this scary shit, and she has like plants everywhere, like scary plants. And then she goes and she sees a sea witch, and the sea witch is like, "Oh, you know what? I already know what you want. I already know what you want. Like, you want to go be with your man. You want to be a human. You want to have legs."
Yes, love for
Was gonna
heaven.
come. Yeah, she already knew what Little Mermaid was gonna talk about. So she was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna grant you your wish, but like, I expect payment in return. So in order for me to grant your wish, I need your voice, because the Little Mermaid had a beautiful voice, like more beautiful than anybody under the sea." And so then like the God,
Okay, so in other words, the mermaid
yeah,
has the
so
voice of heaven. She has the voice.
yeah, so yeah, she has like a the sea witch is like, "All right, well, I voice." So she basically cuts out the girl's tongue, and then she starts mixing it in her potion and shit. And then she basically like, drink this or whatever the fuck. And so then she's like, "All right, well, here's the you're gonna have legs in a couple of hours, but here's a downside. When you have legs, every step that you take is going to feel like fucking glass is being broken in your skin.
Jesus. Is
Painful." And
is that the
so you
transformation part? Jesus.
yeah, so when you get your legs, in order for the prince to love you, you're just gonna have to endure it, and then you'll eventually gain an immortal soul, and you'll be with your love forever or whatever the fuck. So then yeah, so she goes to the shore, and then like she gets legs or whatever the hell. And then like it was true. Like every time she walked, it felt like pins and needles, glass fucking stabbing her and shit. And then like she was, and the man was like, "Oh my god, like I think I met you somewhere. So beautiful." And then like she can't talk, she's mute. So like she can't sing or talk to him or anything. And she's like, "Oh fuck, like I can't talk to him. But like he's loving, and he takes her into the palace, and like he just showers her in all this love and these pretty dresses and shit, and she's just like on top of and so what the witch didn't say is that she doesn't have long
Long to live.
so like at a certain time she's gonna die and turn sea foam. So like the last couple of days that she's like a human or whatever, the witch comes visits her, and she gives her a knife, and she's like, "All right, Little Mermaid, here's what you can do. You can either stab your man and come back to the sea and live with your sisters and your family, or B, you die and turn into sea foam."
That's messed up. So what did she do?
It was like, oh, like, and everybody, like, all her family's missing her and shit. Her sisters are coming to the surface, and are like, "Why don't you come back to the sea? It's better down here. Like, why do you want to be human? They suck." And then she's like, "Oh no, but I want to be with my man, even though like every day is fucking painful." So the Little Mermaid, unfortunately, chooses to stay with the prince. And so, she stays with the prince, and then
The mermaid gained the immortal soul for earning the love of the prince.
but like at the end, she turns into sea foam, and then like that's it of her. Like she's gone. But then like there was, this part's confusing. So like she goes to like human heaven or whatever, but like they're like, "All right, well, you have to help, like you have to like help humans for 300 years." Yeah,
300 years.
and after you can go, you can ascend to heaven. So like she's helping like angels and shit, like help humans. I don't know.
So
And then
wait
like
a
after
minute.
300 years she gains into heaven.
Let me get this straight. Is she in heaven for 300 years, or is she on earth for 300 years?
No, she's dead, she's sea foam, but like her spirit rises And then like as she's rising, like she's almost to heaven, but then like the angels there are like, oh no, 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 you can't come in here. But if you help, like,
Right.
whatever, we'll let you come in here after 300 years because she dies because mermaids only live 300 years. And so she was like, oh, okay. So like she goes and helps and shit. And then after those 300 years, then she can go to like actual heaven or whatever. And then she also gains like a soul too. So yeah, win-win.
Wow. All this effort to gain a human soul and go to heaven.
I mean, like it was all because like she fell in love with
Oh, because she
the
fell
guy.
in love with the
And
man that gave her the
yeah, like
soul.
she fell in love with the prince, and she wanted him more than she wanted to live 300 years. Like she didn't care if she lived 300. She just wanted to, gain his attention. She was in love. She was smitten. So like she would do anything. She'd sacrifice her life to have this man.
Damn. You really
Yeah.
want the man that bad, you sacrifice your own lifespan.
Even though she wasn't human and she couldn't, even though the witch gave her a pretty shitty deal, but she didn't care. But like I thought she was pretty badass while reading it because like she sacrificed all this shit so she can go be with a man and endured like so much pain, not only like physically but like mentally. I mean, like that's fucking crazy just for a dude.
That is a dude. Jesus. I don't know if I want to. Well, God, that's quite a hell of a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sacrifice your
But
own.
like, it just like shows you like in this story that like you can't have cake and eat it too. Like you can have one or you can have the other. Like you can't have both. You can't have, your happy ending where you have legs and go stay with your man. I mean, like there's a price to pay. And plus she went to the sea witch, like the worst person you could go to. I mean, like there's not other way she could get legs, but still.
Good lord. That was one heck of a. Is this really a fairy tale? Because someone
Yeah.
will. Oh, okay, fair enough. Even though this one doesn't have an author in the first place.
I mean, this is where Disney got the concept for the Little Mermaid. They just changed it and shit so it wouldn't be so depressing. The story is really depressing. But, basically, Disney took it and was like, oh, yeah, yeah, let's take out the part where she turns into sea foam. And then, yeah, we'll
Jeez.
make it
Why
happy.
don't we? Why don't we get like a new, like movie based on the actual source instead of what everybody think of the dignified source of it? We should have like the real source of it.
I mean, because, like, I'm, I mean, like, would you see anybody else doing these kinds of, like, stories?
Why not? They're being interest for accuracy, even
I
if
mean,
they're
like,
depressing.
I mean, like, people do that. I mean, there's lots of stories about like, the tales. Like freaking Little Red Riding Hood. I've seen many movies about that, and none of them were like happy because Little Red Riding Hood is not a happy. Like they get eaten, and then the grandma dies. It's like no, but like yeah, like I don't know. I guess like it's the whole merriment in you know they want you to be happy when they're watching your movies. I mean, like if Disney
No, they're
about
not
these
gonna
fairy
be
tales,
that.
about the gruesome things that happen inside the fairy tales, then the parents would be like appalled. Like children wouldn't be able to see it. It would just be very like scary, but like Disney made it to where like fairy tales can be enjoyable, happy to watch. So like you don't have to watch The Little Mermaid with reading like the actual story that's behind it. So yeah. But like I always like the darker versions, but like yeah.
Hey, enough of your mermaid. enough of your sacrifice of mermaid soul to go into heaven itself, that we go back to Earth, and we go back to a fairy tale known as the juniper tree. In my case, no known author, known to be a collector by the brother Grimm, and this one is somewhat darker than the rest of the fairy tale you've heard so far. We had a comedy one in the first place, the whole crab and mermaid thing, and then we had your mermaid thing, but juniper tree is a little bit weird for a fairy tale, so to speak. So, it all started with a wealthy and pious couple, and what do they do every day? They pray every day. They pray to God Himself because they wanted a child so bad, and they can never have a kid. I think the husband in the case isn't fertile, so to speak. So, they prayed every day. They didn't do anything. Didn't do jack shit, my son. God didn't help you. So they keep on doing this until one winter. By the way, there's a juniper tree in the courtyard. So for
Hmm.
whatever reason, the wife is merely peeling an apple with a knife. But what happened was that she was trying to peel this apple. See, peel an apple. Oh shit! She cut her finger, and it was snowing that day, so the blood spilled onto the snow. And while she's peeling the apple, and now she got this really weird wish where she wants her child to be, quote, to be white as snow and red as blood. And somehow, somewhere, God heard this, and 6 months later, you know what happened? She became super ill, like puking her guts out ill from eating like juniper berries. I'm
Oh,
not sure. I'm not sure if juniper berries are poisonous, but I'm pretty sure they are because she's
that's a
puking her guts
long
out.
time
Yeah, maybe it was rotten juniper
after.
berries. Who knows? But she made that wish for the child to be white as snow and red as blood. Oh, 6 months later, she sick, and then a month later, she had a baby. The actual baby was born. And as it was by her wish, it white as snow and red as blood. And you know what happened after she gave birth? She died. She died of happiness. Like, I don't get it. She
So
died
related. That's like,
of
oh, I had a
happiness.
baby. Blah. Oh, that's terrible.
So yeah, she was holding a baby boy herself. While it's no red blood. So yeah, so happy to the point where she died from excitement, so to speak.
Damn.
So yeah, that was the sad part. It couldn't even end there in the first place. So fine, the husband buries her beneath the juniper tree where she first cut her finger in the first place. So later on, the husband has no woman. There's a son, and eventually the husband remarries a woman. Remarries another woman, so to speak, not the original woman, of course, because original wife died. Then another daughter is born. So in this case, we have the original husband, the original son, and okay, I'm gonna refer it to some other. And I'm confused. What's the family? Let me get this straight. So
Hmm.
new wife, new daughter, which makes the sister the half sister. I hate family shit like that. It gets confusing.
Okay,
God.
so like his new wife and him have have a child, another one.
Yeah, yeah. Now they're two kids, except with
Yeah,
the
then
new
they would be
wife.
like half sister,
Yes, half
half.
sister.
I think. I think that's how that works. Yeah.
Yes, it would be the half sister to the son that was born from the other wife,
Yeah, it
which
would be the
died.
half like brother or sister to like the oldest child.
Yes. So basically, this is where it went to shit, and you have its whole evil stepmother thing. So what happened was the new wife loves the daughter, but she hates the stepson. She hates the original son, basically. She abuses him every day, and she really wishes the daughter to inherit the stepfather's wealth and dagger for stepson. In other words, she didn't give a shit about the stepson. She just wanted her to guy to get money from
Mhm.
the father because she's a bitch and all that.
Wow.
So the stepmother tried to hash up a plan, and this is the fucked up part, by the way. The stepmother planned to let her stepson into an empty room containing a chest of apples. Then the daughter, she sees the chest, right? And she asked for an apple from the apple chest, in which the stepmother gracefully offered. But then things start going weird when the boy entered the room and reached down the chest for an apple, and this is where it gets fucked up. The stepmother slammed the lid onto his neck,
Oh
cutting,
my god.
cutting his neck off, by the way. So now the son is dead, the neck is decapitating. Oh god, it just gets awful at this point. The stepmother basically tied his head with the rest of the body with a bandage and propped his body onto a chair outside with an apple on his lap. So you have a corpse of the son on a chair with the apple on the lap, but the girl is not aware of it. So the girl is not aware of it. Yeah. So apparently, what happened here was that the stepmother made it look like the corpse was alive, even though it's dead. Ew. So
Oh.
the daughter asked her stepmother for an apple, but there's no response. How? No response, and then the stepmother catches her, and now the stepmother forces her to box him in the ear. Box him, like as in boxing, causing his head to roll on the ground. And now the stepdaughter is like, "What is this? What is this?" And she cries for days while she's crying her ass off. The stepmother dismembers the whole body and cooked him into a blood stew. Forget it.
Oh. Oh. What the fuck? That's so
And then
up.
she later deceives her
Bitch.
husband by telling him that his son stayed at like a relative's house. And you know what happened?
Oh.
And then the husband unwittingly eats the blood stew. And the husband's like,
Christmas.
"Holy shit, this is delicious. What is this, my dear?" And
Your
basically,
son.
it's stoop. So basically, yeah,
Oh
the husband basically drank his own son. So yeah, there's like cannibalism here going on here, family cannibalism. So yeah, um,
no.
yeah, all this fucked up shit going on, and then suddenly a mist, like a magical mist, comes out from a juniper tree, and a beautiful bird that one flies out of a tree, and cause where it's adjusted to, adjusted has to be meeking out, but the way it happened is interesting. So the bird visits the local town people and starts singing his throat out about the brutal murder in the hands of his stepmother. So you know what happened? Captivated by his lullaby, there was a goldsmith, there's a shoemaker, and there's a miller, and they can offer a bird a gift. There's actually three gifts from here, from the three people here. A gold chain, a red shoe, and a millstone. You know why? Because they want the bird to sing again to hear what happened. So let's see what happens. So the bird returns home and gives the husband a gold chain while giving the daughter a pair of red shoes. But yep, and in the meantime, the evil stepmother, she complained about the raging fires within her arteries. Basically, fire starts going up in the arteries, so some damage happened to the evil stepmom in this case. And what is revealed to be the what the fuck? Oh wow, she got executed. You know how she got executed?
Hmm.
The bird dropped the millstone onto her head. She died.
Ha.
She died from the
Ha.
bird dropping the millstone on her head.
Ha.
So, as it turned out, that bird is the sun. In other words, the
Oh.
sun died but got resurrected into a beautiful bird. Then basically, it was basically revenge at that point.
Huh.
And
Karma's a
then,
bitch.
and then they all reunite. The bird, the the daughter, and the original husband, and they reunited and live happily, basically happy ending.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I mean, yeah, the son died and the bitch of the mother killed him, but like got to, be with his family still, even as a
Maybe it had
like
something to do with the original wish, to be white as snow and to be red as blood. Something to do with that. Maybe that was the magical incantation for this song in the first place.
maybe.
But still,
Like I'm because like at first I thought the stepmother was gonna like end up getting away with murder or whatever the hell. But like, yeah, she got her karma, fucking bitch.
yeah, she got a karma being executed by a freaking male song by the bird. A nice one. Somehow.
That's dope. It kind of reminds me of Hansel and Gretel. Um, if any of you are familiar with Hansel and Gretel, it's a very, very popular um, uh, fairy tale.
Yeah, come on. What fairy tale does it remind you of?
Hansel and Gretel.
Ah, they always seem to be fairy tales about like evil mothers for some reason. It's like it doesn't seem to be more common than
The
other.
the Hansel and Gretel one, the person that he was with, I don't think that was a real mother. I don't know. I don't remember. They didn't really go into like detail about it, but like I don't think that was their real mother. If it was, then you guys let me know. But like, I don't think that was a real mother. But like basically um it kind of had that same direction, but then like it kind of like catapulted in another direction later on
Wow.
on that same level of
So I wonder which of the fairy tale we just got. Which one was the happiest? Which one was like the most screwed up, and which one was like not so screwed up
I
in
think
order?
I think that the most fucked up one had to be the one that you just read. Um
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then
That was like cannibalism in a fairy tale. Oof.
yeah, there was a lot of those in like those old time fairy tales.
Then
And
what was
Cinderella
that? Okay, so which
in
one was the happiest, at least most happiest possible?
I was going to mention that kind of cannibalism, that kind of like bloodshed, that's like very common in these kinds of stories. Um, like Cinderella, in the original like story, the stepsisters got their eyes picked out by like a bird.
Ew.
Yeah. um, yeah. In
Hmm.
was it fucking no, Sleeping Beauty. Um the chick's name, her name was Briar Rose, and the Disney movie kind of went far from that, but um yeah, she did prick her finger, but then like the prince came to her tower and he basically raped her, and then like she woke up like years later and like she had like children, and like she didn't even know she had children.
This is the stuff that Disney leaves out, isn't it? Jesus.
Yeah, basically.
Good God. God help us all if they ever make an accurate
um
retelling of these stories onto a TV show or movie. Because they're not as plugged as Disney wants you to remember.
yeah, Disney is there to sugarcoat the endings and everything because they got to make money. But but I would say like from the most disturbing to most light is like the one that you just read is the most like dark, and then like the Little Mermaid, and then Bluebeard, um the crab story.
I think the funniest one has to be like the Golden Crab Prince one. That one was like, what the?
That
Uh,
one was like really confusing. Like I thought something totally different was gonna happen, but like
but
I
like
guess
what?
not.
What do you think
Because
was gonna happen?
well, like when I discussed this when you first was reading it in the beginning, but like I said, I thought the crab was
Gonna have
like
revenge?
completely like yeah, I thought the crab was gonna be like, oh fuck you, like he turns into a beautiful man, this beautiful man meet, and then he's like, oh no, I don't want you anymore. And, like he goes and finds like another girl, like, and he flaunts his sexiness to her. You can't have me, you know, like
Mm,
not supposedly like kill her, but just like backstab her, just like like she did. Like, I mean, she didn't backstab, just like do
yeah. Let's just say it was a very crab that took advantage of the situation, if
yeah.
you ask me. Becoming
Yeah,
human instead of a crab.
I would have left her. I wouldn't have married her. Like, fuck you. I'm gonna go get another woman who doesn't like hurt me.
No. And then they
You
start
leech.
and then they start Krabby Patty business.
They start Krabby Patties, and that's where Mr. Krabs. That's where Mr. Krabs.
Yes. You could say that SpongeBob SquarePants could be a modern fairy tale
But like,
about
yeah,
magical creatures under the sea with with the gum-ass starfish or something.
Patrick.
Yes, Patrick, the gum-ass starfish.
I mean, like in some aspects, it is true. Patrick is a straight up dumbass, but if you really look at his behavior, he has like a lot of like there's a lot of moments where you're like you question Patrick and you're like, are you really dumb? Are you really a dumbass? Because like sometimes he says shit that you're like, okay, well he wouldn't have known that if he was actually like mentally ill or something. But like
I think
he's not.
Patrick is just
I think he's secretly a genius, and like he's just like he's just he just wants to have like everybody see his like his show, you know.
Patrick is just a nice idiot. I don't
I don't
naive.
think he's an idiot. I think he's just misunderstood. Because like I don't think he's an idiot because like I actually think he's probably like a murderer. Because there's some parts where I'm just like, okay, Patrick, what the and then like SpongeBob even more so. I mean like SpongeBob isn't smart either.
No,
I mean he's smarter than Patrick in some ways, but like for the most part, he's not like
not
fucking
really.
genius.
And then you have Squidward, who's
I
like,
don't. Yeah, Squidward is mean and bitter.
man, but we're not talking about SpongeBob. This isn't a SpongeBob
But like, yeah,
podcast.
like I feel bad for Squidward. Um. Oh, I also it was this one episode of SpongeBob, and it was supposed to air, but it never aired. But like it was on I think it was April, and it was supposedly an episode where Squidward is like he's so depressed, he's so like like done with life, and then like he gets a shotgun and he commits suicide.
That's a
And
creepy pasta. Come on, that's a
and
creepy pasta.
Nickelodeon was going to air this. They were gonna put it on air for kids to see, and they basically snatched it back, and they were like, haha, April Fool.
April Fools, huh?
Yeah, it was an April Fool's joke, but still, I mean, like that's really graphic for a kid show. I mean, like they kind of like go over the line sometimes in SpongeBob, but like suicide is like that's that's like that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's like creepy pasta if you ask me.
Yeah,
That
I can't read creepypastas and I just can't.
good God, maybe we'll talk about creepy pasta for our next
Maybe
podcast.
we
How
can have
about
an
that?
episode where we talk about creepypastas, but like the thing is like I like to be thorough, but like I literally cannot read another creepypasta ever in my life. It's like I couldn't sleep for like 2 days. Like I read a creepypasta about Disneyland, Rugrats, and I just could not sleep for like 2 days. Like I can't.
Oh come on, you haven't read Sonic FDX.
I cannot read that. I'm just like my mind is like very very like imaginative.
Oh
Like
come
even me
on,
just talking about it right now.
I'm gonna make you play Sonic FDX. Someone made a game about that.
I can't. I will not play it. I
Like,
refuse.
why not? It's Sonic himself possessed by Satan.
I don't consent to it, and I don't play any games that have to do with like devil worship. It's not my style. Sorry. Consent. I have to say yes, but I don't. So no.
Anyway, in any case, ladies and gentlemen, we clearly talk maybe a little bit more than fairy tale at this point, but hell,
We did.
I
But
wouldn't
like,
mind talking about creepypasta in the next podcast. That's a good
I mean,
idea.
like, we can if you guys want it. I mean, but like, please don't, because like, I don't want to do.
You pick the tame one.
I don't want to do it.
Pick the tame creepypasta. There's one
I
that's
don't
not
want to
that.
do it. This week is your turn.
You
Like,
never.
the week coming up is next week is yours. I'm gonna do creepy pasta. Please pick anything.
Well, then until then, we'll see if you'll do creepypasta for a podcast next week, or
Don't say
will
that.
it be?
It's going to be a big question mark.
Big question mark at that point.
Big question mark. We're not sure what we're gonna do it on, but it looks like Chrono is like pretty set on creepypastas. I don't want to do it, but we're gonna put a question mark next to creepypastas. So yeah.
And as always, we will see you next week, and we're on
We're gonna
Glass
sign
signing off on the Anything Good podcast. See you guys next week.
Bye guys. See you guys. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye.